there, YouTube family. Dr. K here, and welcome back to my channel. It's been a minute, lots and lots of minutes since I have done a video, and lots of things have changed. So, if you've been rocking with me from the beginning of this channel and my subscribers are still there, thank you for not canceling me out when I was MIA. You've noticed I have done a name change. So, I've rebranded. I am no longer winning in the workplace because yeah, I just couldn't be winning as much as I needed to be winning. So my new official rebranding of my YouTube channel is K My Way. I'm doing everything my way, all about K and my journey after 50. So as you know, I have my notes off to the side because I have a terrible memory. So this new direction isn't really just cosmetics. It is a mindset shift for me. It's announcement to myself that my next half of this life is not all going to be about work, right? I am a Gen Xer. So I am resetting at 50 plus. So I'm stepping out entirely of my comfort zone. I'm trying to combat fear along the way. I'm packing up my life, as you know. I'm moving across the country. Yeah, I'm still going. I'm leaving in August. So I wanted something to reflect all of the different changes that I was going through. Most notably, that I am in the latter stage of my work world, my work life. Hopefully, retirement is right around the corner, and that is what I want my mind to be thinking about. So it's a little scary doing this as a Gen Xer, you know, our 50 plus community. We probably were a lot braver when we were younger, but as you get older, we're going to talk about that in a minute. Um, so it takes a lot of courage when you're older. There is a lot more to lose when you're this age, right? I did when I was quite younger. I want to say, ooh, was it 20 years ago now? Gee willikers, I am so old. When I initially went overseas, I was a lot younger. I think I was braver. I was fearless. And I realized the older that I've gotten, I have lost some of that edge. It is scary as hell now when you're older, right? You got a lot more to lose. So today I'm going to pull back the curtain and talk about why I'm making this midlife pivot, why it's so terrifying, and why, as 50 plus community members, we should not let fear define our life. So let's talk about this. I'm going to be very quick. I'm trying to keep these videos very short so you can get in and get out. So the first thing is, why is it so hard for us to start over at this? I think the main thing is, you know, you've lived a life. You probably married, you might have kids. I am not married, I don't have kids, so I don't have some of those restraints on my life, but I am still very much comfortable in my life. So I think acknowledging that we've had a good life, we've lived well, and it's scary to kind of look and say, am I going to take all of this, even though my life might not be great? You guys know what I was going through as far as layoffs on the job, and you know, this whole ageism in America thing is real. It is out there, and you heard about it when you were younger. It didn't apply to you because it didn't affect your life. Well, it's affecting my life now. I feel it, the way that the older workers are treated. The ones who are getting laid off the most are the older workers, and I just that living in fear thing, I just can't do it. So it is harder to start over when you're not 20 and you can't just be rocking around with your backpack and all of that. You know, you have a whole life that you have to pack up. So it's harder to downsize an entire life. I have to think about everything. What am I going to do with my rental? What am I going to do with my car? There's a lifetime of memories Gen Xers, over 50 people have when they're thinking about shaking up their life the way that I am doing, that maybe some of the younger people don't have to grapple with. So I do understand it is harder. I acknowledge it's harder, but these videos, and I think I've told you this on many of my videos, I'm making them just as much for myself as I'm hopefully making for somebody out there that this message resonates with. Yes, we're older. Yes, we have a lot more to lose, but our life is not over. We are not done living, and we still have a lot to contribute to the world and society at large. So, even though it's scary as heck for me, I am still doing it, and I want you to do it too. The second thing I think about when I'm taking on this new challenge is, as we're overcoming fear, I think the question in the back of my mind was, what will people think? And that may surprise people who know me. I'm not one who tends to sway my life based on what other people think. But there are at times you're like, I wonder what people are going to think, right? Are they going to think, I'm too old, I'm crazy? What is she doing with her life? Like the social pressure that may be perceived, maybe it's just all in your mind, is real. And it took me aback a minute to figure out what I was going to do. How was I going to grapple with this? How was I going to combat some of the naysayers that I knew was coming? So, as I'm talking about overcoming the fear and what will people think, I'm going to put in this section, how did you communicate this change to your family, and how will you do it? So here's how it helped me. I just, this is just the way I did it. I am one, when I have a huge decision in front of me, I like to grapple with the decision by myself. And I am a pros and cons type of girl. I'm a list girl. So I'm making lists, pros and cons, adding things, taking off things, trying to make it seem as objective in my mind as possible before I can make the decision. I think it's important, particularly as you're older and you know people are going to say stuff, you want to have your decision locked in first so you're not swayed one way or the other. So if they say something, they being friends, family, even coworkers, that kind of hit you in the gut, you've already thought about that because you've done a pros and cons list. So you have to get your decision together first. That's what I did. And then when I started telling people and they wanted to weigh in, I kind of just stopped them and said, thank you for your concern. I know you care about me. Continue to keep me in your prayers. Things are, life is not guaranteed. I have made my decision. And here is what I need you to do for me as a friend or as my sister or as my partner or as my coworker. All I want you to do is to wish me well, give me positive thoughts. I do not want to hear any of the negative. Stop sending me all of the hot stories from where I'm going. I already know that. So all I want you to do is to pray for me, keep me in your thoughts and prayers, wish me well, and know that I'm doing this because I think this is the best thing that I need to do. So that's number 2 thing that I had to think. So the final thing that kind of prompted this whole rebrand of K My Way is also looking ahead to my impending retirement. I am on the latter part of my career, so I won't be winning in the workplace forever, right? I'm very much looking forward to retirement in the next, let's say, 4 to 5 years. So I was also thinking about ways that I can supplement my retirement. What can I do in retirement that will maybe bring in a little bit of money, also keep my energy up and my mind engaged, and have something that I want to do where I'm not just waking up, eating bonbons, looking at Netflix. That's my life. So I have dived back into my writing career, which is, I say career, but it's my hobby. Hopefully one day it will turn into something a little bit different. But I have dived back into my writing, and that's going to be the second half of my this big adventure. That's what I'm going to be talking about on the channel. So I have decided to start writing again and start publishing again on KDP. I have already published my first little journal book. And again, I make books for things that I like. So I write stories that I want to read. and I make my little books for things I need. My first journal is a way for me to be productive because I'm a procrastinator, guys. I'm a huge procrastinator. So if you are a procrastinator, I'll put the link down below. I had to come up with a system to get things done because moving overseas, as you know, is a lot. There's a lot going on. I'm going to talk about that in another video, but there's a lot with packing and visas and all the other things, and it's overwhelming. And for me not to be overwhelmed, I had to come up with a system. And my system I came up with turned out to be this new little journal book, and it is just doing something every day towards your goal. So again, I'm going to put the link down below. It has helped me tremendously. I think I was frozen by the enormity of this big move, and there were weeks that I did nothing but lament about, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? How am I going to get it all done? And I'm like, well, you've got to do something. So this has helped me out tremendously, and it might help you as well. So I'm going to leave it there. I've been rambling, but yeah, so my new channel is Kay My Way. I'm Kay, guys. I'm doing it my way. I'm going to talk about what I want to talk about on this channel. I'm going to bring you along on my journey as I move out of the country and dive headfirst into this new adventure. I'm going to talk to you about my writing, and I want you to kind of come along for the journey. So if you're a fellow Gen Xer, I'm talking to you. If you're a Gen Xer, particularly if you're a woman, but any Gen Xer, and you are stuck, you're in a dead-end job you don't like, or you're hearing whispers on your job about layoffs and you're like frozen in fear, you're not quite sure what you're going to do, this might be the channel for you, to give you that encouragement you need to see somebody else your age out here living it and doing things in fear. Anybody who tells you this stuff is easy and nobody's, I'm not scared, I'm just doing it, particularly at our age, don't believe it. I am doing the thing in fear, but I'm doing it. So if you need a kick in your butt, to say, yeah, you can do it. Yes, you can go look for another job. Yes, you can move. Yes, you can start the business. Whatever you want to do, you are not too old to do it. So this channel is for you. So subscribe if you're not subscribed. Like this video for me, please, guys, as I try to rebrand this video, my channel, and share it with your fellow Gen Xers. And again, if you need help trying to figure out how to make some headway on these long-held dreams, and maybe that dream is I need to get out this job and get me another job, get my journal down below, because when I tell you just a little bit of time a day directed at your dream makes a difference. It doesn't make a difference in the day 1, 2, and 3 because it's so small, but small wins start to multiply up, and at the end you're like, oh my gosh, I really got it done. So I'm going to leave you there. Thank you for tuning into this video. Stay with me on the journey. Make some comments for my Gen Xers. And even if you're not a Gen Xer, make some comments, engage with the community. And I am back, guys. This is Kay My Way. I'll see you in the next video.